rhythm going and make it interesting and everything else when you're playing solo. And I think Bill said, maybe not then, but at some other occasion. That's why I don't play much solo piano, because I only feel I can play ballads. I don't think I ever heard him play a real up-tuned solo, but I'm sure he could have if he wanted to. You know, he could do anything he wanted.
And I was wondering which group format you most like to play: solo, trio, larger group.
Well, I don't know. It's fun being able to do all three. I mean, I just did a solo live concert in Berkeley in a place called Maybeck Hall. It should be out in a few months. I love doing that, but then I'm going to enjoy working with the trio tomorrow, which are two guys from Chicago that I work with whenever I'm out in the Midwest. And it's sort of my steady Midwestern rhythm section. And
What can you tell us about
about
the bass player?
bass player his name is Larry Gray, and he's the most avid student of the bass and the cello and the music in general. He's like so intense about playing, and he's forever learning, and I think right now he's involved in getting his degree, going to school, and plays all kinds of dates. Excellent ear, very fine bass player. The drummer's name is Charlie Brown. He always gets called Charlie Brown, of course. And he was in New York, played with me a lot in New York for a while, but he's originally from here, from Chicago, I mean. And I'm trying to think, he played with some group just recently. I mean, he's played with a lot of groups, but he played with some well-known group, and they went to Europe. I just can't think offhand, but he's a guy that's really been around and plays in all kinds of settings, as I have too, from club dates, bar mitzvahs, weddings. You know, I used to play years ago, during that period you were talking about when things were a little slow. We used to play these weddings and bar mitzvahs, and this drummer, he was sort of a jazz fan, and it was his gig. And he would hire me on piano, and he'd have somebody like Buck Clayton or Roy Eldridge in the band. And then the bass player he was a real club date bass player. And he and the drummer would talk about the stock market while they were playing the tune. And it would drive me up the wall because the bass player would play wrong changes. And the time would get weird, you know. And I'd think, how can a guy do this with a guy like Roy Eldridge in the band? We all needed the work at that time. So you put up with things when you have to. So I don't know. Yes. That's what I usually do. Is I need all the help I can get. I listen to it. If I have the music as well, that's great. But usually, if it's something that's too hard, I'll just listen to it. As a matter of fact, I'm learning one right now that for this high school band that this woman arranger wrote. And it's her tune. And the arrangement is very pretty, but I'm a lousy reader, so I'm learning it off the tape. But I've also got the music, so between the two, you know, I'll manage. As a matter of fact, that's how I learned the Grieg concerto. But I did, listening to a Rubinstein recording, playing a little bit, and then listening to the record and playing a little bit. But I don't do that anymore. It's a long time ago.
Where did you get the sign-on theme for your program and can you play it?
The sign-off theme for the program. That's funny. The producer said we have to have something for the show that sounds sort of like conversation or like people interrupting each other or something. He said we're just going to have just a few bars or something for the theme. So I hit on this tune, and this is, well, you've heard it, and this is it. I really don't know how I It's funny, because people keep asking, saying, why don't you develop that theme? So when I was in Berkeley doing this solo date, it was in the afternoon, and I must have been feeling extra strong or something, but it was a very good audience, and I thought, well, what do I have to lose? So I did an extended version of that, and I haven't listened to it yet. I don't know if it's any good. I'm sort of afraid to listen to it, but it's sort of far out sounding. Anyway, I think I really ought to end this thing and not wear out my welcome. Should I just?
Can you play one more tune?
That's what I was thinking.
How can one get a listing of other places and times you will appear?
Oh, boy. The thing is, I don't play that much in New York, where it would be listed in like the New Yorker or something. Concord, the record company, has a listing. Concord Records, Post Office Box 845, Concord, California, 94522. They have a listing of where I'm going to be for the next 2 or 3 months. Yes, sir.
I would just like to ask Marion, according to your opening remarks, what you think of this piano, because it's not, I will like it fixed.
Well, should I rate it 1 to 10? No, let's just say it's okay. I mean, it's okay. No, it really is all right. Yes?
Have a favorite up to?
Yep, a little blues, that mightn't be bad. Favorite up to should be. said your favorite up tune, and I really want to play a little bit of this just to let you know about some other music that I've played and still do play. You know, my former husband Jimmy was a great influence getting me started, and probably if it wasn't for Jimmy, I never would have got started. You know, he introduced me to everybody, and I played in his group. And actually, we played all all these years. This is fresh air out here is killing me. And in fact, we played a gig at the University of Chicago together last September. And you know, Jimmy and I are very close. And anyway, I still played some of these traditional tunes, so I'd just like to wind up with this one, which is kind of ridiculous because it's actually supposed to have trombone and clarinet and a whole bit, but we don't have that, so I'll do the best I can. This is called the Royal Garden Blues.
Thank you very much for coming. I'd like you to know that there are now Piano Jazz t-shirts available. I understand that they can be gotten tomorrow night at CY Stevens. We'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night.